Good evening, everyone. So today I'm going to give the introduction on this environmental engineering Master of Science program. So in my today's talk, I'm going to show you the general introduction of our Master of Science environmental engineering. I will also talk about who can apply us, also the curriculum of our environmental engineering, and also the total course fee in order to finish this environmental engineering. So as a later part of my talk, I'm also going to tell you another channel you can join our environmental engineering, which is through the graduate certificate program. So I'm going to talk to you slowly, one by one. So the overall course objective is to provide up-to-date technology in the water wastewater treatment, toxic hazard waste management, air pollution, climate change, energy, etc. topics. That's what we are covering for our Master of Science environmental engineering program. So after taking this course, you will be able to gain innovative skills for solving advanced environmental engineering problems, so as to protect our water, soil, and also to solve our energy issues. Actually, the overall course, we also design our curriculum to be sufficiently flexible to accommodate students from not only environmental engineering background, also other disciplines, bachelor student, because we are trying to accommodate students who has interest in our environmental engineering program. We will also provide practicing engineers opportunity to enhance their technical competence. So now you want to ask, you are wondering who can apply? Am I qualified to apply for this Master of Science environmental engineering program? So for students in the following disciplines, if you have a bachelor degree in environmental engineering, civil engineering, environmental science, or in chemical engineering, actually, you are very suitable to apply for us. Okay, for students who are not graduate in this background, I'm going to show you later. You may also join our environmental engineering program through our graduate certificate program. Okay. So this program is going to admit students both local and internationally. If you are coming from international schools, you have to have an English test score. For example, the TOEFL 85 marks based on the internet test. The IELTS is about 6.0. That's a requirement for you to join our environmental engineering program. So for us, we are having 2 intakes every year. So every year in January and also August, we will have 2 intakes for our environmental engineering program. You can see that this for next year, coming one is January 2023, following is August 2023. Our application period is quite long, actually. For January intake from July to August, 2 months time, we open the window, you can apply us. For the August intake, every year, we open in December until the following year, March. So we give enough time for you guys to apply. And also, once you are admitted to our program, the maximum candidature for you to finish your study, actually for full-time students, maximum 2 years. But most of the time, for most of the students, actually, you can finish the Master of Science program within 1 year to 1.5 years, which means that 2 to 3 semester time, you can finish your Master of Science study. For part-time students, maximum criteria is 4 years, but usually our students are able to finish their study in 3 to 4 semesters time. So in order to graduate from our program, you have to take 1 core module and also 9 elective modules. To add up together is 10 modules. They are equivalent to 40 module credits. Okay, so in order to graduate, you have to score 3 at least out of 5. These are, for most of our students, they are able to meet this graduation requirement without any problem. So for our program fee for our Master of Science in Environmental Engineering is 42 1,900. This fee is for you to complete this 40 module credits, which is for the 10 modules you are going to take. So if you are going to, for part-time students, also you pay the same amount of fee, spending your 3 semester to 4 semester studying period. For all full-time students, this fee will spending for 2 to 3 semesters until you finish or study. So this is elective modules. You can see for these elective modules, we are having this fundamental physical chemical process analysis modules. We also have this, for example, water, wastewater, biological treatment modules. We also have management modules, such as the toxic hazard waste management, and also this water quality management, environmental management modules. We also have very interesting modules because right now, for example, the climate change is a quite important topic for environmental students to address. We also have these climate change modules there. So you can see our module are designed really accommodate different kind of aspect in order to fully equip you guys to be ready to serve in this environmental engineering area. So now I want to talk something about this graduate certificate program. We call it Technology for Environmental Sustainability, in short, TES. So this TES, or the graduate certificate program, actually is another channel for you guys to apply to our Master of Science program. So the first question you ask me is that who can apply to this program? I also listen here, if you have a bachelor degree in environmental engineering, civil engineering, environmental science, chemical engineering, but you did not initially meet our Master of Science admission criteria, you can apply this TES to try on our modules. Okay, if you score well, then later you can continue your study in your Master of Science. But for TES, not only limited students from this just I mentioned, different bachelor degree area. If you have other bachelor degree, you have strong interest in environmental engineering, you can also apply this TES graduate certificate program to try on our module or to have some this fundamental knowledge in our environmental engineering. If you score well, we can also take in to our Master of Science program. So the purpose for this TES program is provide up-to-date technology. So for the TES, we emphasize on the technologies in environmental sustainability. Okay, so after you graduate, you can have enhanced knowledge in all water, wastewater, waste management, as well as air pollution management, and also treatment techniques. So even you don't go to our Master of Science program, you can also gain knowledge in these areas. So for graduate certificate, the TES program, we only have one intake, 1 year, which is for every August. We have one intake. The application period actually starts in May every year. Okay, you can apply in May, you come into our program in August. So the maximum candidature year is 2 years, but the most time for all students coming to this program, you can finish within 1 year time. Okay, so in order to get this graduate certificate, this is not degree, it's a certificate. You must have an average point 2.5 out of 5. You will be qualified to get our graduate certificate. Okay, so the program fee is about 23K for the including everything, including tax as well. So this 23,000 tuition fee will cover the 16 module credits, which is that these 16 module credits will equivalent to, if you take, sometimes we offer 8 modules, 2 MC, sometimes we offer 4 modules, is 4 MC. Okay, if I add up together, it's 16 MC, then you will be ready to graduate. So now you need to ask, will ask me a question. That, just to mention about if I through the TES, I can apply for your Master of Science. So how well I score will I be qualified for this Master of Science in environmental engineering? If for this 16 MC, your average point, the cap is 3.0. So which is a B- grade by average. Out of the 5 in total, you will be qualified to apply our Master of Science program. Okay, and also these are the completed 16 module credits can be transferred to our Master of Science program. If these modules are scored grade B- and above, you can transfer to Master of Science. So also saving your time in our Master of Science program. Okay, so this is a list of these grad modules covering air, waste, water, industry wastewater, water reclamation, reuse, as well as the general information in our environmental engineering. Okay, so that's about my brief introduction on this Master of Science program and also the grad certificate program. If you have any question, you can ask me or you can ask Sally. She's helping in both Master of Science and also environmental and also this TES program. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. He, for your very detailed sharing. I believe our participants will later on have some questions for both MSc Environment Engineering program as well as a TES graduate cert program. So now we like to actually type your question in the chat box if you have, and then we will address later together with our next speaker in this Q&A session. So let me introduce our next speaker, Dr. Ramaswamy. Okay, Dr. Ramaswamy is currently a research fellow in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, and he obtained his MSc and PhD degree from the same department. And his current research field is more on the sustainability and the zero target in terms of water, in terms of waste, in terms of energy, and he's going to share with all of you as alumni. So Dr. Ramaswamy.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Prof. So I'll like show my okay. So I'm Raja. So I'm a research fellow at Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. So as like Prof told, like my work is on sustainability and also degradation of some persistent organic pollutants. So I did my Master of Science in Environmental Engineering here. So today I'll just show you how my journey had started, how I got into this course, and what I did learn from this coursework, and what is expected out of this coursework. So how did it all begin? So basically, after completing my undergrad, I worked in an IT sector. So I worked as a tester. It's called a software testing. So it typically involved a day where I have to sit in front of computer, and my alt-tab skills basically increased during that time. So it was a mundane kind of work. It became mundane after like 1.5 years, and I wanted to do something like good, because like my final year project was something related to environmental engineering, because I was working in some tannery wastes there. So I thought, like, what am I doing here? I didn't get that spark. So the spark happened when there was an incident near my house, actually. Like, so I live in a shore, like, so there was this oil spill that happened. It was a big oil spill at the time, because like 2 oil tankers like collided and caused this leakage. And I saw a dead turtle like swim across. That kind of like woke me up. Like, that was like what was happening. Now, what am I doing here? So what is happening around me? That kind of awareness like pushed me on to find some relevant coursework elsewhere. So then the journey started. So I'm coming from this place called as Chennai in India. So from Chennai, I came to Singapore. So I completed my undergrad in this university called as Anna University in Chennai. So then I came to NUS. I came by air, like I'm just like showing you. But once I like definitely like travel by road from Singapore to Chennai. I don't know when I'll do that. but just like the journey started. So, but Singapore was not new to me before, because like my brother did his master's here. My father was working here for a while, so Singapore was not completely alien for me. So, but when I came to Singapore for the first time, like I came back in 2010. So that was the year where like Marina Bay Sands like came into existence during that year. So I was fascinated. I was fascinated about the multiracial and the multicultural environment of Singapore. So if you come to Singapore, you'll see like there is a color gradient here. Like you can see that visually here. Like it feels like very nice. It feels surreal sometimes. Like how can like so many people come together? So it came during the time of Chinese New Year. Like that's the first time like I'm like seeing something like Chinese New Year and and these things. So I was like quite fascinated about this place. But what fascinated me most was the cleanliness and the discipline of Singapore. So I was like wondering what truly attracted me. So then I got to know, like after coming here, so I got to know about the 4 national taps of Singapore. And like it's basically like how does a small country like Singapore maintain so much population inside it, and that too like provide water, because Singapore doesn't have a natural water source as such. So there are actually 4 national taps here. So one is like water from local catchment. So basically like even though it's a small space, Singapore catches all its water, tries to catch all its water. So there are 17 reservoirs. Problem of course is still the land area. It tries to catch most of its water. The second source of water is from in the imported water that comes from the neighboring country. So now there is a pact between Singapore and this country for like providing water, which ends in 2061. But it's been estimated by WRI, this is the Water Research Institute, that Singapore will be water stressed by the year 2040. But so what should like Singapore do? Because like the current demand for water is around like 430 mgd, and this will double by the year like 2060. So how will it maintain? So that's where like this thing called as new water is there. So so probably like for people who don't know what new water is, so new water is the reclaimed water, reclaimed gray water. So all the sewage water here goes to these water reclamation plants. There are five new water plants here. I think only 5, and those water are goes through a series of process where there is membrane separation, and then there is enough RO, and then there is like disinfection process. So this goes through a process which gives potable water. Like that water is pure and is very safe to drink. So this might be a little like people might be taken aback and what is happening here. But if you actually see, if you come and take this module, you'll actually see the benefits of new water actually. So you'll see like how beneficial it is, like energy wise, and also how pure the water will be. So the other source of water is from desalination plants. There are like 4 desalination plants here. So this is like standard desalination plants which works in like RF, NF and RO membranes here. But energetically, if you ask me personally, I'll go for new water. New water is absolutely safe for drinking, and it's not a new process. Like it has been like there from like for the past 3 decades or so. This process has been there. So they use this kind of water. Okay, this is regarding the water side. What about its solid waste? How is the country's flow clean? Where does the waste go? Because I haven't seen a landfill here. So the thing is like they have this offshore landfill here. This is an engineering marvel. Mind you, there are like so many like tourist spots in Singapore, but this I call as the engineering marvel in Singapore, because this is a floating landfill, and the landfill takes only your incinerated waste and not like any kind of waste. And this is the only landfill in Singapore, which is an offshore landfill. This is not in the mainland. So this what you see this picture is completely a reclaimed land here. Fine. So this is like something like really fascinated me. Okay, and not only this. So this is like for the present thing that has happened. So what? But this landfill will like end in the year 2035. So what about the future? So now there have been lots of talks about circular economy and closing the loops, which is what Singapore is trying to do. Okay, so there is this 2 nexus. So where they like integrate the waste management. There is a solid waste management, the new water plant, as well as the incinerated waste. So most of the waste here are incinerated, and the ash is also being recycled. So the bottom ash that they get is being like used. There's something called as new sand that is being developed. So that is being like used for laying roads and other things. So once you complete this module, so like the environmental engineering module is highly structured. When I say highly structured, so you will have like different people talking to you different things. There are like lots of like people who have done extensive research in this field, and they are highly equipped to teach you. So this is like the ranking. So it is like 18th in the world and 8th in Asia. Okay, now you might see it's 8th in Asia, but I think this is the only course that's offered in English, because I looked for a course that is offered in English. So the rest of the courses that's been offered is not 100% English. Let me put it that way. So this is like I wanted a course in that, and I wanted to go to a country which is like close by to India. So those are the two major reasons that I had, and also have a very good infrastructure. So this I can like vouch for it, because NUS has the best infrastructure as far as like any world institutes are concerned. So decision was made. So let's say like you get the admission. So what to do next? So basically, like people will advise you on how to take modules. There will be like admin staff, like your teaching staff will like I can explain how to take modules. So this is how I took my modules. I'm not saying this is the golden standard of taking modules, but I took it in 3 semesters because I was coming from a completely different background. So I needed a bridging topic. So the bridging topic was given by ESE 5001. So where basically like you will be given with all topics there. So that is make sure like the people who are coming from environmental engineering background and the people who are coming from non-environmental engineering background are on the same page. And it's a very interesting module. I can say this because like every 2 weeks you will see some new things happening. There will be new challenges. So the first semester it was all about completing these fundamentals for me. I took environmental physical principles, environmental chemical principles. I sat in auditing in another module. But then like I sat in this module called as membrane technology that I put it in semester 3. I couldn't understand a thing in this first semester. So it's highly flexible. That's what, if you come to this course, you can sit in the class for 2 weeks, and later you can decide whether you have to continue in that module or not continue in that module. So certain people take it as 4-4-2. Certain people who are like so brilliant take it as 5 and 5. I'm like not like so brilliant. I'm like reasonably brilliant. That's it. So that's why like I took only 3 modules, because at the time I even forgot like basic calculus. So if someone says like integral of dx by x, I was like, God forbid, what is happening here? But during the semester 1, I got into the system. So I knew what NUS wanted. I knew what I wanted about myself. Semester 2, I took 4 modules. And I took those 4 modules out of different topics. I took one in biological principles. I took this thing called as environmental risk assessment, where you'll do some modeling. Then I took water treatment processes, which involves some mathematics there. And then I took air pollution control, where you might need some idea of fluid mechanics. And then in semester 3, I took sludge and solid waste management. So you see, like I have taken like all my modules in those 3 semesters, and I was like very happy with all the modules that I got. And there isn't a module that I will say is weaker or is better than the other. Each and every modules will like give you the satisfaction. At the end of the day, you will feel like good. So there is this opportunity to take 2 cross-faculty modules, but I didn't take those modules because like, why to eat from a neighboring department when there is a wholesome meal that's given by your own department? So I took all the modules from environmental engineering. So it's up to you. If you want to take some cross-faculty modules, you can take, but don't ask me to like, if you can ask me about environmental engineering modules, I can say about all the modules, because more or less I've taken all the modules. So this is just a thing. Okay, so in the coursework, you just will not be sitting in the class and chilling, fine, and listening to the lectures. So there are modules where you might have to do things, where you might have to do some mini projects. Okay, like you have to communicate with people, you have to coordinate with a group of people. They will come from different places, even from the same place. You have to like react and execute. So you have to do some projects like this, and during this process there will be lots of success. You will be like, it will be good because there will always be people guiding you. There will be like excellent peers like coming from different walks of life and different age, and all those things will happen. But there will also be few hiccups, like in this project where I had to like educate people on sustainability. They thought that I was coming for like taking some donation from them, so I had to like tell them, no, this is a part of the module, so which I have to do. So I have to take some survey and things like that. So it kind of molds you. It will be hard, but let me tell you to never forget the process, because I enjoyed the process thoroughly during the course. So with that I end my presentation. So if you have any questions, you can throw it at me. Thank you.
Thank you, Raja. So I think now is Q&A session time, and we have the two speakers, Professor He and Raja, to be with us. And I'd like to welcome all of you to raise your questions. You can type your question. You can also unmute yourself. And since we only got, 15 participants, and just feel free to talk and ask directly, and over your mic. So just let's see who have a question to go ahead. And for those students who could be foreign student from overseas, you also can feel free to ask about the living, matters in NUS, right? If you come over here, you got to live here, right? And you can also ask about those anything associated with your living in NUS, around NUS, so that you can finish your MSc and the TES program with us.
Yeah, for the life in Singapore, I think Raja will have a lot to say because he come from internationally. When he come to Singapore, so what kind of any challenge you faced, or how you adapt your life to US here? Then Raja can share with you if you have any question in this area.
Yeah, sure. Like, see, I mean, like if you come from any place or you go to any place, you will have the time to get used to the place. That happened to me as well, especially with the food and other things. I had to get used to it. But I have to say, like, as far as Singapore is concerned, you won't have any problem because, see, it's a place where like all the cultures meet. So if you want some Western culture, it's West. If you want some like the pretty good East culture, that is East. If you want to stay rooted, you can stay rooted. So it's up to you. I think Singapore can offer you everything. So and like it's not just Singapore. If you stay in Singapore, you can also like visit rest of Southeast Asia. So it's kind of a hub, I can say, where like all the cultures meet. So you will never feel alien. As a matter of fact, like over the years, I feel Singapore is more my home. So it's like more talking. It's like talking about my home rather than talking about some other country.
Yeah, actually, after your master degree, if some students also have interest to continue their study for PhD, it's also very possible in US. For example, Raja is a case. Very beginning, he just want to come here from a Master of Science degree, but later he decided to continue his PhD. That's also a very good example to go. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're interested in research, you can take it as a bridging course. Again, if you have like there are 180 water companies in Singapore, and there are lots of companies which does environmental sustainability here. So the opportunities are high. So don't think there is no manufacturing in Singapore just because of the size. There is lots of manufacturing companies here. So you can get into semicon company even if you're from an environmental engineering background. So you will be surprised with the number of avenues that you can go after your degree. It's just like you have to be clear what you want to do in this thing. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I think we are all helpful here.
Yeah, you just feel free. You know, if you think you like to type, you can write down, and we are able to address on that. And to add on in terms of the research, opportunities, of course, reading PhD after MSc is what Raja has done. So this is a very good example. And for those who haven't really decided you really want to go into PhD, which is a very big commitment, you can try a little bit research project, even though you are in the MSc study period. And this is not guaranteed, but you can come in and explore with our professors. You see, Prof. He is the microbiologist, and then she's able to probably offer you some projects. And I'm more in the water treatment, water reclamation field, and we are also able to, discuss with you and explore on this. So you can come in and do a small research project. In a way, you have a certain taste of the research, and this will also replace some modules. So you make it even more feasible if you want to finish in 1 year. And we do have students actually do research projects at the meantime, read some modules, and eventually finish the MSc in 1 year. So those are the possibilities. And if you want to, try to find out more information, especially the detailed information, here Prof. He can actually tell you all kinds of requirements, and the Raja can share with you his personal experience. Just feel free. Yeah, we got some people coming. Don't know whether you got questions. Just feel free to ask. I think our candidates, our participants are very shy. Oh yeah, we got questions now. All right, so there's a one in the chat. This one, I think, who is going to answer? I think Jianzhong, would you like to talking about?
Yeah. May I know the course part-time program will be conducted in? We currently we should say for part-time course we also conduct physically, but this 2 years is a COVID pandemic. We do hybrid teaching. So this is a very good question. Okay, we usually don't do virtually all the time. So our teaching is can be hybrid at this time. Are you international or student, or are you located in Singapore? Just now, let me see who asked this question.
The participant,
Zhang.
He's in Singapore.
You're in Singapore. If you are located in Singapore, you should not worry about it. It's because all Master of Science modules are conducted in the evening, 6 to 9 p.m. It's after your work. So you should be able to make it to physically on the normal days. Just because of COVID, so these 2 years, we do hybrid teaching.
I don't think part-time students should be that worried actually. Like I have seen like people who come at 6:15 and like even a little bit late. People are understanding here, so don't worry about like being part-time, and it won't be that stressful. Let me guarantee you. If you're sure about a module, like just take it. You can do it on your own pace. I think if you're part-time, it means like it's a blessing in disguise. This course is a blessing in disguise.
Okay, so we have one question now. Okay, from for Zhou.
The meeting, for the admission, if you are international student, we do need just either TOEFL or ITLES. Either one is fine. For TOEFL, you have to be more than 85 marks, 80 marks, based on the computer-based. Where for LES is 6.0. So if you graduate from NUS locally with a bachelor degree, this one no need. But if you graduate from a non-English speaking university, this English exam, English test results is needed.
Okay.
Yeah, so it seems that full Zhou probably still need English score, right? It looks like. So so you can start to prepare. So you can start to prepare the English test, and you know, this is required. So any other? There's one more. I think this will be the last question, because I think just now I got a message in a minute we got to finish this session. So Prof. He, there's one last question for you.
What's master study for? Is it possible for this master to study for PhD in the future? Yes, yes. These are if you are going to, for example, you have interest for PhD, you're not sure you are going to do PhD or not. You do this Master of Science first. Actually, this Master of Science can make you more ready for PhD later, because you take the 10 modules. Also, I think that if you get a Master of Science from here, after you admit to PhD, some module can be transferred.
Yeah, if you're doing from the same school, if you're doing from CE, you can transfer 3 modules.
Yeah, that's what I did it.
Even you don't, for example, don't read PhD in NUS in the future, our Master of Science program will prepare you to go for any PhD program in the world. So for example, I get to know one of my Master of Science student. Okay, currently she got offer from Hong Kong universities for her to do a PhD over there. And of course, she's still waiting for other offers. So basically, our MSc program actually really prepare you from the fundamentals, from your knowledge side, and from your research experience point of view. If you have a research project during this period of time, so we will prepare you to go for a PhD in the future, no matter where you are going to do your PhD. Okay.
Also, it's much easier. I have many students actually. They got a Master of Science with us. Then they can apply for PhD not only in US, worldwide country. It's much easier actually for them to go forward. Yes.
Right. So I'm afraid probably we have to end up this session now. We are, I think, now 2 minutes overdue, but thanks for all your participation and your questions. And do remember, approach Professor He and Shali. Their contact information is in our website. And then we look forward to seeing you soon in NUS campus and for our MSc and TES program. Thank you. And okay, we gotta close now. So thanks a lot, and we say bye to you. Bye bye.